This is the A to Z podcast. Expert insights on leadership, business, real estate, investing, and growth.
Today, I'm going to take you back to memory lane and I'm going to share when and where I have seen the power of vision. It was in my hometown, Harar. It was a confusing time. I wasn't yet to college. In my local village, I was mobilizing the youth, and we formed a youth association. And I was leading that association when I understood the power of vision. And I want to practice that. I was preparing to go to Addis Ababa University. I'm still leading that youth association. And I saw myself, I visualized myself becoming the youth, the student leader of Addis Ababa University. It was a little bit confusing to me and the people around me. Why? Because culturally in Harar, we chew chat, which is a green leaf, and in the United States, by the way, that's illegal. We chew chat, within an hour or so, we experience euphoria. When you are in that state, you dream, you daydream things that will never come true. Sometimes you want to date the most beautiful lady in your village. You know she won't go out with you. You dream owning a car, but no one had car. You dream you becoming like this leader, this business owner, but none of them came true. We were not accountable because that's the nature of euphoria. You experience euphoria, you dream, you daydream, and it's gone the next day. You start again from scratch to dream again something else, totally unrelated. In the middle of that, I saw myself becoming the leader of Addis Ababa University Students Union. I was not yet there. And I was talking that to people around me, my girlfriend and the people around me. And they were just counting me down and dismissing me. They were thinking I am in the daydream because I chew chat, I experienced euphoria, and I was talking about this, and they think it's part of the experience. They didn't take me seriously. For me, it was serious, but I was not sure whether it comes through or not. But I practiced, for example, speaking to thousands of students. Back then, Addis Ababa University had like 15,000 students. Now I think over 40,000 students. I saw myself, I visualized speaking in front of thousands of students. Also saw myself sitting on the opposite direction of journalists, giving press release, getting interviews. And I created scenarios where I was debating with the journalists and so on and so forth. After a while, it became real and it was tattooed in my brain. I went to Addis Ababa University, first year, second year, I forgot about it in the background because I was very busy. But in the background, I was doing certain things. Things like, for example, organizing my cohort and also running for election for my faculty, which is one of the smallest faculties within the Addis Ababa University. When I was a third year student, I ran for presidency. It was like a shocker for a lot of people because no one from my faculty, which was veterinary medicine, who ran for presidency, let alone win the presidency. I remember two of the candidates who were running against me. They tried to dismiss me. The one guy, he was from the law school and he was very dismissive. Oh, you're from veterinary medicine. Are you kidding me? No one's gonna elect you. You're from veterinary medicine. He despised me. The other guy, he was lobbying me. He was telling me, look, even if you are elected, you are from Debra Zayt, which is 45 kilometers away from Addis Ababa. And he was telling me, nobody gonna elect you. Even if you are elected, how can you travel between Addis Ababa and Debra Zayt? You don't have your own car. How can you handle because the headquarters is in Addis Ababa. And I was like, don't worry about that. I'll figure it out. The election day, the three of us, we were outside while the organizers were preparing things. I didn't know how it went when it comes to the two candidates, but when I went in, because I saw myself ahead of time, I visualized that ahead of time. It was like natural to me. I felt like at home when I was pitching them that I should be the president of the student union. And guess what? I was elected overwhelmingly. 7 or 8 times, they gave me standing ovation. Ask the people in that room, they will tell you I was real. The only people who didn't vote for me were 2. Guess who they were? The 2 people who were running with me. How did that happen? Because of vision. I saw it, I practiced for it, I prepared for it. I actually felt it as if it happened. Today, what I'm going to share with you is that when you have vision, what happens? The benefits. And also, what are some of the practical steps that you could take to enjoy a visionary lifestyle? A disclaimer. I shared this story with you not to brag, just to share with you what's possible to you. When I was in my hometown, no one from my village went to Addis Ababa University, let alone to become the president of the student union. No one. Where you are today, you may not see yourself succeeding. You may not have any example in your village, in your town, in your organization, in your culture. Doesn't matter. If you could see it, you could achieve it. The second disclaimer that I have is back then, I was not trained the way I was visualizing it. Today, I've learned how to do it, and I am writing a book on this. What I'm sharing today is going to be the glimpse of that book. Let's talk about the benefits of becoming visionary. The first benefit is you gain clarity. You can't just have a vision without clarity. You have to know what you're looking for, your needs, your goal. And in the process of visualizing, you gain clarity. The second thing you benefit is you make the right choices. Why? Because you have a vision. When a chance comes to you, when an opportunity comes to you, when you have to make a decision, you always refer your vision. Does this align with your vision? If not, you say no. If it is, you say yes. The third benefit that you have when you have vision is that you have certainty. Yes, you may not be there. Maybe you are experiencing setback after setback. Maybe you are too far from the vision, but you have the certainty that one day you could be able to see that vision come true. And that certainty is important in life. If you don't have vision, you're going to be uncertain. Every wind takes you wherever it is going, and you may end up in bad places, far away from your vision, who you should be. The fourth thing that you benefit is resilience. Once you have vision, when you experience setbacks, when you fail, when you get disappointed, when things darken, that vision becomes your light. You become resilience. You endure. And the fifth and the final one is you become courageous. You say no because you have that vision. You know that's coming, and this doesn't align with your vision. You get courage in your life, in your profession. You know what kind of profession you wanna pursue. You know what kind of business you should do. And therefore, you have this courage. Sometimes you walk away. You have courage to take a risk because the vision is real. Finally, I want to share with you a couple of steps that you could take to enjoy a visionary lifestyle. The first one is to conceptualize it. This is very important. I see people rush to visualizing it, but you have to conceptualize it. You have to know your why. Because if a vision doesn't have a strong why, a strong reason, it doesn't persist. But if you have a strong why you're doing it, why the vision, it could be your purpose, your mission in life, your duty. And then how that duty, how that purpose comes true, which means you are seeing the end of that purpose, that mission, that cause. That kind of vision is very strong. It has a foundation. And therefore, first conceptualize it. Why do you need the vision? Why should you take this journey to achieve your vision? The second step you have to take is visualize. This looks very easy, but it's very difficult, because if you visualize today and forget about it and do it again next week or maybe a month from now, it's not yet tattooed in your brain. Remember, in my case, I have seen it so much so that it became real, and I didn't need to memorize about it, to think about it. In the background, at the subconscious level, I was taking steps. I was doing stuff that led me to run for the office because the visualization part was done. You have built-in visualization ability. What you need is just take a few minutes every day or every week, clearly see where you want to go, who you want to become, what it looks like when you get there, what kind of benefits the people you serve gonna get, how could their life change. Be there. Once you visualize, you feel like you already achieved it. It's a matter of time, because that's the way we're wired. The challenge I have today, and everybody, is the faith it takes to visualize enough something that you want to have. If I don't have something yet, it could be because I already saw it, I visualized it, I'm working on it. Maybe I'm experiencing some setbacks. Or it could be I didn't pass through the visualization enough. The third thing that you should do is communicate your vision. I know a lot of people tell me that don't tell people about your vision, where you go. So how can people know what you do? How can you get support? How can you attract people who share your vision? I know there is a risk, but it's worth taking that risk. When you communicate to the universe, to the world, people know what you're looking for. They would say, oh, this is the guy I should partner with, support with, endorse. If you don't share, if you zip, first of all, you're losing the power of your word, which have the ability to create. Second, people don't know what you're looking for. And therefore communicate. Of course, it takes communication ability, how you communicate your vision. You may not need to be detailed, but you need to find some analogies, metaphors, some stories that you want to share to communicate your vision. And the fourth thing you should do is feed your vision. Vision could be aborted, may not come true if you don't feed it. The kind of books you should read, the kind of programs you have to attend, the kind of nurturing, the kind of positive atmosphere that you need to feed it. If you don't feed it, it's going to dry. It's going to vanish. It's going to wither and finally disappears. And the sixth thing you should do is protect it. Protect it with the people that you allow around you, the kind of voices you hear, the kind of environment you find yourself. You have to protect it. And at the end of the day, you have to actualize it. which means you have to act on it. You have to go out, take risk, and at the end of the day, raise people who are going to continue your vision. If your vision is big enough, believe me, you need to have an institution or at least a team or at least a successor or two, because your vision needs someone to continue. It's a rally. It's not a sprint. You have to have people who are going to succeed you and take the vision to the next level. I hope I gave you enough. The most important thing is when there is no vision, people perish. And we don't want to perish as a family, as a person, as an organization or a nation. We need to have clear vision. And vision has a lot of benefits. And also we need to know the framework on how to translate our vision into reality, on how to actualize our vision. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to see you with another video. Bye-bye.